Good morning. Welcome to Heart and Soul Center of Light. My name is Ron Marshall, and I'm a licensed practitioner and founding member at Heart and Soul, and I'm honored to be facilitating our meditation experience this morning. As is our practice, we are taking this time to immerse ourselves in stillness so that we may connect with the knower within, so it may be our guide during this time of change. So wherever you are, I invite you to make yourself comfortable so that you may be open to divine guidance. Also know that right where you are, God is, and therefore is safe and sacred space. So if you are willing, I invite you to gently allow your eyes to close and take this opportunity to relax and let go of all that has happened up until this moment. Now join me in taking a deep, conscious breath. Let's breathe in and release with a sigh. Now give thanks for your breath as you gently allow it to return to its natural rhythm. Take a moment to notice the path that your breath takes through your body. While the path our breath takes, like each of us, is unique, every breath is part of the one breath, which is breathing us all. Let your breath be an ever-present reminder of your oneness with Spirit and its ever-availability as a guide and source of inner peace, love, and clarity, regardless of outer circumstances. And as we enter the stillness, remember to focus on your breath, and I offer this affirmation as our guide. I have been that I have been. I am that I am. And I will be what I will be simultaneously. I have been that I have been. I am that I am. And I will be what I will be simultaneously. I now invite you to return your awareness to the space that you are in. To do so, you might focus on your feet and notice and feel the support of the surface beneath. You might gently rub your palms together and begin to expand your awareness and feel the space around you. And when you're ready, I invite you to gently allow your eyes to open. This completes our meditation experience. And so it is. Thank you for creating a safe and sacred container of love for our service this morning. We have a wonderful opportunity during these times to spend more time being still and deepening our connection with the One. And I invite you to do so whenever, wherever, and however possible. It has been a pleasure and an honor to facilitate this morning's meditation. Thank you.
Good morning, heart and soul. Welcome to our beautiful Sunday, virtual Sunday service. We are grateful to have you with us this beautiful Sunday on the first Sunday in August, the 2nd. We are so grateful to be with you this morning. My name is Sonia Russell, and I am a licensed practitioner and proud member here at Heart and Soul Center of Light, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you this morning. I want to make sure that you let us know where you're viewing us from today. We like to make sure that we're staying as fully engaged as possible with our community. So make sure that you let us know where you're tuning in from today. I want to make sure those of you who have been with us and those of you who may be new to us that I remind you of our theme, Adventures in Faith, Expect a Miracle. We are walking through with deep dedication and profound insight, A Year of Miracles by Mary Ann Williamson. In fact, today is day 215, and it's a reflection piece on choosing faith. And so I invite you to get into that. I also invite you to stay connected with us on all the ways that we can stay connected: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and we are on various podcast platforms. I also want to make sure you know that our community affirmation continues to be, thank you for everything. I have no complaint whatsoever. We're going to invite you to remember to give to Heart and Soul Center of Light in all the ways there are to give by visiting our website or texting to give. And we're going to remind you that you can sign up for our Sunday service recap, which allows you to get all of the slides we may have shown on a Sunday and any of the events or activities we have coming up, and you can stay more fully engaged with Heart and Soul in that way. Our practitioners are continuing the deep dive with a Year of Miracles review that happens every Monday, where we take time to dive a little deep. It's a book study, if you will, dive a little deep into the reading of the day. It will continue every Monday in August. You sign up once and you'll get reminders about the session. So make sure that you avail yourself to an opportunity to be in community and to go deeper into our read. Virtual summer school, y'all, is just blowing my mind and changing lives. miracles are just being realized all around us. Join us for week 5. We're going until August 19th. We begin at 6:30 Pacific time, and you do still indeed need to sign up. So make sure that you register by visiting heartsoulcenter.org/summer school. Sign up. It is not too late to sign up and participate. On Thursdays, we are supporting our beloved Tammy Hall from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time via Facebook Live, where we're spending some time just in her presence and experiencing the gift of her talent. So make sure that you spend some time on a Thursday night and make sure that you tell your friends. And on Saturdays, we have Reverend Andriette's weekly vlog, The Point of Power, or POP videos. We want to make sure that it goes live every Saturday, 10 a.m. via Facebook and via podcast. And you can find it as well on YouTube. And you can always look back and find the previous POP videos on our website. But the point is to just get in there and have a pop, 5 minutes, that will absolutely transform your thinking, supporting you in transforming your life. I want to remind you that we do prayer at the end of service. It'll be about 10 minutes following the conclusion of our service today. And we offer group prayer every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure that you are getting the support you need through the powerful act of prayer. Ty Stevens is our musical inspiration today, family, and we're very excited about that. And our beloved Reverend Andriette is our speaker this morning. And so I invite you to take a moment to be grounded and present. Following our devotional time, there will be some slides that are designed for you to read in preparation for our service time together this morning. And I invite you to simply take a breath. Our vision was revealed to us before we were a church in any configuration, and so we like to ensure that we allow ourselves to continue to be grounded in this vision. And so we recite it together, family. We are a loving and compassionate, world-class teaching and empowerment ministry. Through a consciousness of universal God presence, we release all resistance, separation, and fear. We claim our personal liberation and accept the eternal availability of joy, love, and abundance. Through our intention to be love and spread joy, we engender reflections of the same and more in others. Our ministry is a gift to the world, which expands through our practice and dedication. We welcome all people, and together we make a quantifiable, positive difference on the planet. And so it is. And so now, family, I simply invite you to find your breath, becoming fully present in this moment, putting down all that it took to get here, to be present, giving no concern to all the things that have to happen after this time, but simply being here now, tapped into, grounded in the divine. The presence of the infinite is here now. The same power that kept us while we slept and woke us this morning, that rose the sun and brings a tide to the shore, it is God. It is who I am and why I am here. It is who each and every one of us is and why we are all here. The same force that powers the entire universe beats our hearts, circulates our blood. Our skin is made of stardust. Without exception and regardless of appearances, God is always being manifest perfectly in our lives. And so it is from this place of knowing, this place of trusting, this place of deep abiding faith that I speak a word for my beloved Heart and Soul Center of Light community, knowing, trusting, relying on the presence of the infinite in our lives to be unfolding magnificently, miraculously. That our lives reveal a pattern of goodness, a pattern of wholeness, a trusting that God is forever present and forever ensuring that our highest and best is always before us. And so I am knowing that today and every day we have the opportunity to know love, to accept love, to trust love, to be in, through, and as the infinite, as who we are powerfully, unapologetically, courageously. We are one with God. It is what will heal us. It is what makes us victorious. It is what makes us realize that we are one, that we are in this thing together. And so I am grateful. I am grateful for Heart and Soul Center of Light and the permission it gives us to be our most powerfully connected selves. I am grateful for the hearts and the hands that support this ministry. Our hospitality team for supporting our nourishment. Those who come early to keep us plugged in technologically. Our music ministry, our beloved Reverend Andriette. The power and presence that goes into Heart and Soul Center of Light being a beacon of love on the planet is real, it is strong, it is present, and I am grateful. And so it is in perfect gratitude that I simply release this word into the law. I know that it is done and done well in God. I accept it and expect it and allow it to be, not only because I speak this word, but because it is written on our hearts, now and forever. And so it is.
I've got a dream for the world. Peace on the rivers and everywhere. Bridges of steel and love. And cities that smile. Gray, empty faces walk by, and hands try to hide all the loneliness. Lighting a cigarette to blow time away. Lost in the noise, lonely as the wind. People on sidewalks with no place to go. Can they learn to understand the world of love that I'm dreaming? The world of love. And I said I got a sack full of dreams. Streets filled with laughter and toy balloons and people with hearts that care, who listen for love, wanting to sing, wanting to care, wanting to share all my dreams for the world. Can they learn? Can they learn to understand the world of love that I'm dreaming? The world of love. Ooh. Yeah. Wanting to sing, wanting to care, wanting to share all my dreams for the world. Can they learn? Can they learn? Can they learn to understand the world of love that I'm dreaming? The world of love. Peace, peace, and happiness, love and kindness. This is my sack full of dreams.
Good morning, heart and soul. Consider that my gift to you. That was Ty Stevens, who is in New Jersey and has certainly been at Heart and Soul. And we were so looking forward to sharing him with you. And you will hear him a little later as well after my message. I'm just thinking how often we have thought about, wouldn't it be great to have Ty here in the building? And I'm just thinking then we'd have to put the paint back on the walls because Brother has just sung A Sack Full of Dreams by Donny Hathaway. And, just beautifully done. Part of the lyric I want to share with you because we might have gotten caught up in his luscious tones and missed some of the lyrics. Part of the lyric is, I got a dream for the world. Peace in the rivers and everywhere. World of love, people with hearts that care. Presently, that's my favorite part. People with hearts that care. That's us. And the call is that we act it, that we actualize it, that we act like we are the ones with hearts that care. And we live in the world in that reality, bringing that truth and that perfect expression. Because look, in these twin pandemics of systemic racism and COVID-19, what it has revealed for us is that there is indeed a crack in our foundation. And I've shared that with you before. And I want us to I want us to be ever aware that it's a structural issue, that what is going on and where we see the problems, and they are many, most of which are a part of the structural issue, a crack in our foundation. I've left our universal symbol of no around the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind because I want to remind us that this is not the place, not the time, not the situation for us to pretend like it didn't happen or for us to wish like we didn't know. I know so often we have those places in our lives where we go, where we want to just put on blinders. I'm just going to act like I didn't hear that. I'm going to act like I didn't see that. I'm going to act like that's not really happening. And if it is happening, it does not have the kind of impact that my intuition and my very spirit and connectedness with the divine reveals must be so. That's that eternal sunshine of the spotless mind kind of intention. Won't somebody just wipe out that part of it? You know, I want to live life unaware of the pain, unaware of the suffering, unaware of the need for people with hearts that care. Look, Ernest Holmes says this. He says we should never watch to see what another is doing. See, some of that hangs us up as well. We're busy looking like, well, they didn't say nothing. You know, it's that group dynamic, that consciousness that has always gotten us into trouble, where you have a group that sees something and everybody is hoping somebody else is going to say something. Somebody else made the call. Somebody else has a way to intervene. And really, we're the ones with the hearts that care. We're the ones that are required to step in and say and do and be present for the shift. So he reminds us you should never be watching what another is doing or how that one is doing it. For when we do this, we're always limiting our own possibilities to the range of another's vision and another's behavior. Because I've come to remind you again that principle is not bound by precedent. And our good is not limited or conditioned by any good that has ever been manifest. This is my favorite part right here. This is the part that I have on my bathroom mirror that reminds me that wherever the bar has previously been placed, you about to jump that girl. That you do not have to leave yourself at whatever you have seen happen before. The ancestors have already cut the path, but they didn't say stay on the path. You know, they've cut it so that you can get to this point, but now it's up to us to cut another path. There's something more that is possible and available for us. He says we should confidently expect a greater good. Come on, Mother Harriet, remind us that we are just beginning to get a sense of what is possible, that we can expect a greater good than we have ever experienced or than we have ever known anyone experiencing. So I love the activity that we often do in workshops to think of someone who has already accomplished that. Think of someone who is doing it. Think of that thing, but then don't stop there. We're simply engaging that to give us a sense of the possibility and that it's already been done. But we're not trying to do what they did. We're not trying to be who they are. We're not trying to limit ourselves by that. Instead, we're living by these words that principle is never bound by precedent, that something more can happen. This is a message for today and tomorrow and the week after. Because right now we find ourselves in situations and circumstances that we've got to vision beyond. Yes. We cannot say that, come on, Honorable John Lewis, that we cannot just envision that we cannot go beyond where he took us. He introduced us to something more. We saw him continue to show up, blazing a trail. And the call is on our lives and on our living to go beyond that. So if you have been playing with us in summer school at all, and if you haven't, I'm kind of wondering why, but you work that part out on your own. But during summer school, we are taking a shortcut to a miracle, which means that for those of us who have chosen to get into the deep end of the pool, we are turning this, my mother would say, every way but loose. We are determined that we are building a miracle-making attitude. So in the book, A Shortcut to a Miracle, it offers us 5 factors to form the foundation. Remember, there's a crack in our foundation, so we, as our engineering spirit, if you will, are committed to correcting, to repairing the structure. And so what we're building is a miracle-making attitude, and that's going to form our foundation. We're no longer going to be stuck in systemic racism. We are instead creating a new foundation. And the authors in Shortcut to a Miracle offer that, number 1, miracles unfold according to universal law. So you don't have to worry about, we're not interested in your opinion about miracles and for whom they happen and under what circumstances, because they unfold according to universal law. There is order in them, and your miracle is possible. I'm going to invite you to just say that right now. My miracle is possible. Now, it's only possible because you have to get into it. It's possible, and it could remain possible throughout your life and after you go. But in order to call it into experience so that we actualize it in a way that you live in the miracle, you have to know that, first of all, it's possible and that it's never too big. We got to know that today, because some of us are thinking of voting considerations, all of the work that was the passion of the Honorable John Lewis, that some of us are concerned that that's being unwound in ways, but I need you to know that your miracle is never too big. So do not ever say, yeah, but not, and we only have. Today is the 215th day of the year, and if you're counting to November 3rd, then you might get caught up with, this is too much. I need you to stop. I need you to hush about trying to work out, because this is not, the what is up to you. The how and the when is up to the divine. This is, miracles unfold according to universal law, and that's not you. You must determine the what. You're calling it into focus for your life, but you're not in charge of when and how. You play a major role, and your major role is believing. It is done unto you, unto all of us, as we are in the process, as we are engaged in believing, as we are believing. So that's your work. You play a major role of believing right now in the possibility. And then as you grow it, the certainty. And you deserve miracles in your life. See, I've come today to say it really doesn't matter what you've done and how the past is. And I know there's some people that know and won't let you forget. But miracles happen and unfold by right of consciousness, not by right of someone else's perception of your deservability. And that you've got to know, because your miracle-making attitude is the very beginning of the miracle itself. See, this is why it's so important that we line our ducks up in the proper order. Because if you're over there trying to convince somebody else that you deserve to have some little small miracle because you believe that there is size in miracles, there is no, I'm trying to get from A Course in Miracles, that there is no, the wording is this, no degree of difficulty That's what it says. There is no degree of difficulty in miracles. So this one is not going to be harder. Remember, it's universal law. It's up to the divine. So your miracle is not more difficult than my miracle or her miracle or the 3 miracles that each of us have. They are not in no order of difficulty. They just miracles. The difficulty is in how the degree to which you can believe it. That's where our difficulty is. Well, let me not speak for you. That's where my difficulty often is that I keep going back to, oh, but I've never seen that happen. And I keep going back to, they ain't going to let that happen. They're not going to pick her or me or them and I begin to talk myself out of. So now I am creating something else. I'm using the divine power, the universal law in a way that does not support the vision. And in fact, what I create is the opposite of the vision. Why? Because I believe in the opposite of the vision. I believe more deeply in the opposite of the vision than I believe in the vision itself. This is our work to do, y'all. Come on now. Once we realize that our miracle-making attitude, the attitude, and I get that a lot of us of a certain generation and time were raised not to focus on ourselves and what we can do. This ain't that, baby. That's over. We're going to have to be the ones who know that it's all right to have a miracle-making attitude. It's all right to straighten up that spine and no, I'm standing in this happening. It has not yet manifest, but I see it, and that's what I'm focused on. And I'm willing to keep my focus on that. I'm willing to focus my thinking on the positive outcome rather than mentally fearing and fighting the negative. See, this is where we get it caught up. We're so busy focused on the worst case scenario and the what if propositions. What if he doesn't like it? What if he doesn't accept it? What if she is jealous? What if they're going, stop all that. Focus and stay focused on the positive outcome. What is it? We, the people with caring hearts, what is it that we envision as our dream for the world? What is that? And no matter what else happens, no matter what the pundits say, no matter what the headline is, no matter what else happens or we think it happens or what doesn't happen or we think it can't happen, we are to focus our thinking and hold our thoughts on the positive outcome of our dream for the world. That's the thing right there. There's a lot of other thoughts that are going, let me just say, let's just be clear. Just because you write this down or you take a photo of it or you get it out of the recap later that we send out, however it is that you wrap your mind around it, allow me to just say to you right now that the negative thought, the one that says, you, how you gonna create this dream? That thought? You've never led nothing before, or all of that. That's coming up. And it's no surprise, it's the way this thing works. It's not because you don't deserve to have it. It's because that thought was in there. And now that you are taking responsibility for your thought and engaging it intentionally, all of the other mess that's been hiding in the creases and crevices of your mind are bound to pop up and say, what about us? Don't forget in 3rd grade, you ran for the little monitor thing and didn't nobody vote for you. Don't forget that on the block they used to call you. Don't forget, see, all that's going to come up. But I'm getting you ready. So when it comes up, it's a get thee behind me moment. When that comes up, get thee behind me, because I'm focused on something else and you are crowding my vision. None of that is relevant. None of that has anything to do with this. You're going to have to practice because you've been entertaining those thoughts longer than you have this new idea. this new dream for the world. That's why I continue to bring us a new heaven and a new earth from Revelations. That's why I continue to put that before us, because that's our work. Our work is to begin to envision a new heaven and to focus on it so intently that it commands a new earth. I have always been inspired by a quote that is in common parlance by Goethe. And we have often heard it. I put the little slash in here because we've heard it a couple of ways. Whatever you think you can do or believe you can do, begin it. Boldness has magic, grace, power in it. Or sometimes it says, action has magic, grace, and power in it. And because I've heard it a couple of different ways, I was curious to do a little research about it. And what I found is that there's an Irish poet, Ansler, John Anster, who, in translating Goethe's work, that quote is actually from Goethe's work Faust. And the way he translated it, it seems that the folks who know say that he took some liberties. And this is how he translated Goethe's actual work. Are you in earnest? Seize this very minute. Those of you who are in summer school, we asked you straight up, where are you in this? Where are you on the continuum of possibilities of your willingness as a participant to call forth a miracle in your life? Are you in the deep end of the pool? Also known as, are you in earnest? If so, seize this very minute. What you can do or dream you can, begin it. But see, only if you're in earnest. Otherwise, you're going to sit back and wait for ideal circumstances and the opportunity, the timing to be just right. Is she going to be there with me? Is he going to back me up? But see, if you're in earnest, seize this very minute. Do it now. Because boldness, that would have you step to it, has genius, power, and magic in it. Only engage. That is to say, get your miracle-making attitude. Engage. Only engage with your miracle-making attitude, and then the mind grows heated. I love that part. The mind heats up because your energy around it. Something is happening. We've been there where you have an idea, and you've had lots of other ideas. You may not have even written this one down, but it keeps waking you up. You're on public transportation and getting ideas about it, but more details are being added to it. To me, that's where the mind has grown heated. It just keeps cooking that thing up. Begin it and the work will be completed. I need you to know I'm not playing. We're calling for some miracles because we got to have them. 2020 and 2020, it's on us. The people with loving hearts. The people with caring hearts. It's on us. Begin it, and the work will be completed. You see, part of what I'm talking about, what I have kind of excerpted from Shortcut to a Miracle, is this clear awareness that positive thought is more powerful than negative thought. So even though as you're focusing on the powerful, on the intention, on the positive, that's what I meant to say, even though you're focused on your positive outcome, some negative thoughts are going to come up. Now, they're not coming from nowhere. These are thoughts you have entertained and tucked away or have at the ready to keep you from being all that you can be, keep you from doing all that is yours to do. But what you need to know is that your positive thought is more powerful than all that stuff that's going to pop up. See, when I see it in my mind's eye, it's like at the carnival. You've seen that where you're at the the little carnival game thing. Somebody is my lifeline. I know they know what that's called. And so it's the little shooting range thing, and stuff just pops up, and you're supposed to, in a moment, shoot it off. That's kind of the way this thing often happens. The shooting gallery idea is where you're focused on your vision, but all this other stuff pops up, and you got to do something with it. What I'm telling you, though, is you don't see that's a distraction. That works at the carnival, at the county fair. It works there. But in life, that's going to be a distraction while you're trying to see where else you need to point your attention. Instead, just trust that your powerful, your positive thought, your vision, the one born out of your loving heart and your true caring and compassion for humanity, so that you are, in your own way, whether you use these words or not, are committed to a world that works for all. That you can know that even though the negative ideas come up, even though they are present in whatever way, shape, or form they are, that they are not more powerful than your vision. And that's important to know. Two things. One, they are coming up. The negative thoughts are coming. There's not a level of enlightenment that anyone has ever spoken of where there are no negative thoughts. Get thee behind me. Y'all know where that came from. So the master teacher Yeshua that the world ultimately came to call Jesus, get thee behind me, Satan. In an enlightened being, still entertaining ideas to the contrary of the larger vision. Get thee behind me. Not focused on you, focused on vision. Powerful thought is more positive, Positive thought is more powerful than negative thought. We have to learn to make our thinking correspond with our desires and not our fears. Because, see, here's the thing. We are either masters or adept at entertaining our negative and our fears. We're way more versed on our fears than we are on our visions and our desires. I don't know. I had some ideas about why that is, but I'm just going to spare you because that's hardly the point. The point is to learn to train your thinking. That's what this is. We are training our thinking to go in a certain direction. And as we train it, that new direction becomes more natural for it because it's more familiar. And we use those terms interchangeably, natural, familiar. And so it becomes more familiar as we train our thinking. And this becomes important because why? Trained thought is more powerful than untrained thought. Untrained thought just reminds me of untrained dogs. You see them out running behind trucks and humping legs and just carrying on. And then you see in the dog park the dogs that the folks have trained. And sometimes the most they do is a little, and sometimes they don't even do that. It's just, psh. And the dog is stopping in their very tracks. I have often thought, I want my mind to respond to me. I want my thoughts to respond to me like I see those well-trained dogs do. Just mid-thought. Be like, get out of here. Okay. You've seen him. The dog just hang its little head because it know it got caught. I want my thought to know it just got caught and get on back out of here. That's what I'm looking for. Because trained thought is far more powerful than the untrained thoughts of just the mind going willy-nilly all over the place. Bring it on back over here. Get on back over here. We're working out a dream for the world. Come on now. We got a dream for the world. We can't be all over here with what they doing, what they not doing. Bring it back over here, I say to myself. Come on now. We're not focused on that. Come on. And this is important because I'm not suggesting that we get to a point where we don't have the thoughts that are willy-nilly. We just recognize them as untrained thought and we say, what? Get thee behind me with that. Yes? So look, let's work a little while on some of how we are making a miracle. This is right out of the book because I love this notion of making a miracle. What? Any miracle, the authors say. I love that part because otherwise, if they hadn't added that part, we could read it and go, yeah, that could work for some miracles. That worked on the miracles I already did, but they don't know what I'm working with. And they're like, okay. See, I make up a story about a lot of stuff. And so in my mind, this was not in the first draft of the book. I'm just making up this story. See, the first draft just said making a miracle. Then they realized that some of us would take exception. Like, that'll probably work on some grade C miracles. But on the grade A miracle I'm working on, I'm going to need something else. And they said, oh, no, let's add any miracle for the people who are going to try to take exception to it. But here's the deal. They say, number one, there are 8 steps. Get this. First step, be very, very, I'm adding a second very, very, very clear. Because in your clarity, you are putting yourself in the story, in the vision, in the picture. So you have a picture of a dream for the world where there's peace in all the rivers, and we just put you in there, though, baby. This ain't no vision for you, for the rivers of the world, and you not in it, because that ain't happening. So the idea here is that you are in it. What are you doing? How are you a part of this evolution of peace? How are you a part of the greater prosperity? What is that meaning? Are these just words? You must put you in it. Get really clear. See yourself. You're using your imagination, Neville. You are picturing you in this with great clarity. And you are expecting the best. Why? Because we tend to draw to us what we expect. I know y'all have a different story. I wasn't expecting thus and such, but let me in that mind, and we will find those places where you set it up, that thing could happen. It was simply not your conscious expectation, but you've been living your life like you expected it not to happen. The very vision that you've been spending time on, the very prayer you've been asking people to pray for you, you have been working in your mind as if you did not expect that to happen. And now you wonder and want to take issue as to how expectation works. I'm going to ask you just to trust me on this. Let go of fear. Do not let fear back you up or back you off. Y'all know what I'm talking about in the vernacular. Don't let fear back you up. Be like, all right, fear, we've been through this before. Is this the first time you've been afraid? Is this your first fear ride? Probably not. So talk to it from what you learned when you went through the last one. Tell them the how I got over story. Everybody has one. Yes, I meant everybody. Everybody has a how I got over. And it essentially translates to how I moved through fear and did it anyway. Open your mind to all possibilities. Focus on the what, not the how or the why. That's what has us downgrade the vision. We go, this is what, and then we start thinking, I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know when that can possibly happen. And we start downgrading it to where we can know how and we can know when. That ain't no miracle. If you know how and you know when, that's not a miracle. That's you working in the world. And I ain't mad at you for doing what you do, but that's not a miracle. A miracle is when all you know is what, and you stay the course. See yourself as you want to be. See a new heaven and a new earth with you in it. See, that's what see yourself the way you want to be. There's a new heaven that you're envisioning. Well, you're a part of that. So there has to be a new you in order for you to be in a new heaven, because it's always by right of consciousness. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but you have what you deserve by right of consciousness. Whatever your consciousness is right now, it has manifested what you have right now. But don't get stuck there. And it's a waste of time to get mad at me for saying it. Don't get stuck there. Be willing to know that just like I got here, I can get there. The new heaven and the new earth. Keep the power. Don't talk about it. This is important because for some of us, as we get the vision, we have to tell 18 people. By the time we're through, we need to take a nap. We're not doing no work for the vision. All of our work is in the telling of it. And that telling of it dissipates the power. And because we do not want the power dissipated, because we want to use the power to create and engage, call forth the miracle. Hold your own silence. Hold your own awareness. And be willing to give testimony as it manifests. But when you're just in the, I just planted the seed, it's like digging up the seed to show people what you planted. Do what needs to be done by you. Spirit works through you to bring forth the miracle. So you can't kick back and just be waiting on the miracle. There's something for you to be and to do in every miracle manifestation in your life. You must be actively engaged in your part. And then look at here, number 8. Pray. Pray often. And then I added, prayer works. The prayer that any prayer, just pray. But the prayer that we teach, the way of praying, we call it affirmative prayer. And it's affirmative because you are affirming, you are declaring your positive, clear intention, your powerful, clear, intentional thought around the power of expectancy. So it's two things. It's clear, intentional thought, and it's the power of expectancy. And you're putting these two powerful aspects together. Intention and expectancy. And that's what you find in affirmative prayer. Pray and pray often. Affirming your good intention, good positive intention. It's interesting how I have been mixing up power and positive. Because in the context that I'm using them, they are the same. But I want to make sure I'm communicating clearly. This is good. And when I say pray, very specifically, I'm going to ask that you pray for freedom and liberation. That you pray for 2020 in 2020. That you pray that we are having less of a moment than we have in a movement. That we allow this moment to be a movement. Pray that we practice self-love and self-resonance. Pray that we unite in a compelling vision that is born of the hearts that care. That we engage broad-based coalitions. You see that we get over ourselves and we realize that everybody has a role. That there's a place for everybody. They can keep the children, they can bake the cookies, they can use the money to bail folks out, they can drive the car, there's something for everybody to do. They can stay home and answer the phone or stay home and make the calls. There's something for everybody to do and be. It's about engaging broad-based coalitions. Pray that we're making a long-term commitment, beginning with you. Pray that you're not in this just for the moment, while the hype is up, while the heat is on. Pray that you are absolutely committed to this with your very life. We have some models for that. Pray that we accept this season of radical change. That for those of us that are change phobic, that we can get with it, to know that in order to have a world that works for everyone, it requires radical change, because we're not there. I mean, it doesn't require a whole lot it's not like I know a secret about it. It's that I know we are not in a world expressed right now. The current expression of our world is not a world that works for everyone, a world that honors everyone. And if that's what we want, and we do, that we accept this season, this opportunity for radical change, and pray that we embrace a new normal. Pray that we have space in our very being, in our lives, in our minds, in our awareness, in our consciousness, for spirit rising. So Ty Stevens wrote a song, and I've asked that he share that with you now. So, at Heart and Soul, coming to us from New Jersey, Ty Stevens with Spirit Rising.
This is my song, Spirit Rising. There's a feeling of expansion in my chest. There's a knowing that this day will be my best. There's a quiet voice that speaks above the rest. It's spirit rising. There's a rumble in the earth beneath my feet. There's a knowing that I'm perfect and complete. There's a light in me that darkness can't defeat. It's spirit rising. Untie the ties that bind you. Let spirit just unwind you. Let the light remind you of who you are. Surrender to the feeling. Spirit is revealing. Freedom has no ceiling. Yes, you go far. You go far. You go far. There's a tingle in the space around my heart. There's connection to this world that I'm a part. There's a joy that my new life's about to start. It's spirit rising. A joy that my new life's about to start. Spirit rising. 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 This next part you're going to join me on, and it goes like this. Listen first, it goes. Spirit rising in me, lifting me up, setting me free. Yes, spirit rising in me, lifting me up, setting me free. Yes, spirit rising in me, lifting me up. up, setting me free. Yes, Spirit, rising in me, lifting me up, setting me free. Your turn. Spirit, rising in me. I hear you. Lifting me up, setting me free. Yes, Spirit, rising in me. Yeah, lifting me up, setting me free. Spirit, rising in me, lifting me up, setting me free. Setting me free, setting me free. Yes, Spirit, rising in me, lifting me up, setting me free. You did pretty good.
Thank you, Ty Stevens. Good morning, family. Just wanted to offer this reminder to stay with us till the end because we have yet another musical gift in store for you. In the meantime, well, Reverend Andriette has certainly given us a message for our times. We're calling forth some miracles because we got to have them. A world that works for everyone is a miracle that's waiting to be called into expression, and you can actively help call forth this miracle through the power of your gracious giving to Heart and Soul Center of Light. There are many ways in which you can give. You can mail a check to Heart and Soul Center of Light, 1001 42nd Street, Suite 100, Oakland, California, 94609. You can also give online at heartsoulcenter.org/give. You can set up your online gift as a one-time gift or as a recurring gift that occurs at the interval that you choose. Last but not least, you can text the word GIVE to 510-500-5849. Whatever way you choose to give to Heart and Soul Center of Light is so appreciated and is right and perfect. It is also right and perfect for us to bless our good, thereby establishing the good that our gift will do in the world even before we give it. And so wherever you happen to be in the world right now, I invite you to take your gift in hand, or otherwise just place your hand over your heart, knowing that the greatest gift there could ever be is the gift of life that's beating under your hand right now. And let us say together, I bless this gift as healing energy and send it into the divine flow of all good. Infinite prosperity circulates through me, through my church, and throughout the world, because I know God as source, and so it is.
Thank you, family. It's so good to be here. That service was good, y'all. I am so grateful to be with a community that is so profoundly all about the change of our lives, and I am grateful. I want to remind you, family, that our practitioners are diving deep into our 2020 Year of Miracles review. We are all about the 2020 and 2020, and so every Monday in August, you can join our practitioners from 6:30 to 7:15 p.m. Pacific time for a deep dive into whatever the daily read is. Tomorrow will be day 216. Signing up once gets you a regular reminder, so be with us if you can, family, on Mondays in August. On Wednesday, you want to join us for week 5, Shortcut to a Miracle, a change is going to come. Virtual summer school is upon us. We are in it, we are going through it, and we are grateful to be a part of it. We begin at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. You still need to register in order to get the information to participate, but go ahead and do that soonest. On Thursdays, you can be with Tammy Hall live via Facebook from 6 to 8 Pacific time. And it's a good time, a good way to spend a Thursday night and support our sister Tammy Hall. On Saturdays, every Saturday morning, in fact, at 10 a.m. on Facebook and via podcast and on YouTube. In fact, our Point of Power, Reverend Andrette's weekly vlog called Pop. It's designed to be 5 minutes to support you in transforming your life. So make sure that you are being a part of that, watching it and sharing it with your friends. We're reminding you to support Marcus Bookstores. Their 60th anniversary fundraiser continues to be underway. You can find out information about that on GoFundMe. And we want to support Kingston 11 Jamaican Cuisine for takeout or pickup. Kingston11eats.com is where you can find more information about that. Our teens meet at 11:30 Pacific time on Sundays. So coming up here very soon, you can find information at the Pulse at heartsoulcenter.org. Get more information by sending email to the Pulse at heartsoulcenter.org. Our youth and family village is actually back in a new way with fun and meaningful videos for families to access at their convenience. This week, we're focusing on mindfulness, movement, and imagination building. You can watch these videos by visiting heartsoulcenter.org/watch YFV. You can also email any questions to yfv@heartsoulcenter.org. We want to remind you that it's about 10 minutes following the end of our service to engage in group prayer. We believe in the power of prayer here at Heart and Soul Center of Light, and it will absolutely change your life. We also offer group prayer on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Pacific time, so make sure that you join us in that way as well. And it is my pleasure to welcome back our beloved Reverend Andrette.
Ty Stevens, Spirit rising in me, lifting me up, setting me free. I'm gonna ride with that today. That's gonna be my little jam for today. This notion of Spirit rising within me and all the power in that. And so I'm going to do a little shout out to the August birthdays, so that you can see Spirit rising in you even as you are celebrating your solar return. So happy birthday, August, folks. We are celebrating you and Spirit rising in and as you. Happy birthday. I'm also so grateful and want to give a shout out to the folks who are joining us from far and wide: New York, Royal, Virginia, Aurora, Colorado, Atlanta, GA, Jaco, Costa Rica, New Jersey City, New Jersey, Jackson, Mississippi, Charlotte, North Carolina, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Italy, Detroit, Michigan, West Orange, New Jersey, and then South Carolina as well. And then, of course, there are all the folks in the greater Bay Area who are hanging out with us, and we are completely grateful for that. I'm going to ask us to join me in prayer, and then afterward, Ty Stevens with Power to Change is going to be the way that we go out. But look, today in A Year of Miracles by Marianne Williamson, she has a reflection on choosing faith, where she simply says, faith is power, and it changes your life by changing you. So I'm going to ask you to just join me in knowing that faith is power and that it changes my life by changing me. And so let's just be with that as we are affirming the greatest good the greater good for everyone, for all concerned. To know that faith is power and that it changes my life by changing me. That it changes all life by changing the one who's living that life. Oh, I'm giving thanks for that knowing. I'm giving thanks for the way that that charges my spirit, for the way that it puts me in touch with my divine recognition that there is one power, one presence, one love, one life, one breath. That it's all the divine, the living one, the strong one, that I am living the life of the living one right now. And the life of the living one is living me. That I am breathing the breath of the strong one, that the strong one is breathing me, and that this is true for all of us, that we are living the life of the living one and breathing the breath of the strong one, and the living one is living us and the strong one is breathing us. Why are we tripping? Knowing that we're surrounded and enfolded by the perfect love, by the perfect energetic of health and well-being, of balance and truth. That upon awakening, we are looking into the universe as a new heaven of possibility and a new earth of experience. That we are working together to build a world where the children are safe, where the elders are cared for, where no one goes hungry and everyone is fed, because there is already enough for all. Where everyone has access to clean water. Where we all have 2020 in 2020 and beyond. Where our lives unfold in perfect order. In the order of our highest intention. Of a world that works for all. A world that honors all and has space for all and includes all at the highest level of its order and vibration. Oh, I speak this word with great faith. I have faith in the power of miracles. I have faith in the order in the universe. I know that I am relying on universal law. And it has never failed me. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the way that all of this unfolds. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know what? I know that it's peace and it's love, it's inclusion, it's balance, it's harmony. It's health and well-being. I know that it's good and very, very good. And so I simply rest in this. I rest in this truth. I rest in knowing that it's been spoken through me as me. And so I simply deliver it into universal law, the activity of love. I know that it's done and done well in the divine by the living one, the strong one, that all of this comes into perfect alignment and expression, that it cannot possibly return void. And so I accept it in gratitude and thanksgiving. I let it be in gratitude, sealing this for all eternity. I simply say, Amen, Ashe, and so it is. The power to change. This is Ty Stevens.
This is the song I wrote with my good friend MC Shao in Moscow. Just proving that relations between people are just fine. This starts with a question. What if the world was a bad place because of you? What if you had more love and compassion in all you do? The world would be a better place. We'd all live with ease and grace. Just believe in the dream, it can really come true. Here's what you do. Join hearts, let love's healing start. Join hands, let love heal the land. 'Cause I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Oh. Question number 2. What if your smile was the currency to purchase the dream? What if your heart held every soul as its love supreme? A love supreme. We wouldn't study war no more, holding love always at the core, lifting the world, all people to the highest esteem. Ooh, it's more than a dream. Join heart, let love's healing start. Let love heal and start. Join hands, let love heal the land. 'Cause I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, just believe in the dream.